Following the rise of recent mysterious drone sightings over parts of the Northeast, the FAA has issued a ban on them in several areas of New Jersey until mid-January. The ban states drones cannot be flown without special permission from the government. It also threatens deadly force against drones that pose an imminent security threat.
This after mystery drones continue to fly over the tri-state area with a concentration of sightings in New Jersey.
It's done to try to get a better handle and identify aircraft in the airspace and to see if there's any unauthorized aircraft that are still flying.
The notice states the government may use deadly force against the drones if they pose an imminent security threat. Officials say not all sightings have proved to be drones and many are manned aircrafts. Charles Werner is the director of drone responders and explained who this will affect.
Drones now are being used for real estate, agriculture, construction, public safety. Almost every vertical is using drones. So it will start having a bigger impact as we continue to see the added uses of drones.
Welcome everyone to the Hurting Humanity channel. The FAA has banned drones, but not the drones that you're seeing flying in the sky, all the reports, all the videos on TikTok and Twitter, or even if you're somebody who lives in one of these states that's seeing the drones fly over your home. They're not banning those drones because, of course, those are government drones, but they are banning you and any other civilian from flying a drone in the sky and, in fact, threatening deadly force for imminent security threat. So who are they saying the imminent security threat is? Well, it's you, of course. It's not them who are flying in the sky and not telling you what they're actually doing. They're saying you're a threat. If you're flying it above your home because you want to take surveillance of your home, maybe for insurance purposes. Maybe you're a realtor and you want to make one of those fancy realtor videos so somebody could see the house you're trying to sell from the sky and all different viewpoints. Nope, that is an imminent security threat and deadly force will be used. Now, don't worry. They're telling us that the deadly force doesn't have anything to do with you, as in them coming to your home and killing you for flying the drone, but it does have to do with your drone itself. They will shoot it out of the sky and use deadly force on your drone. So the flip side of that is of them actually shooting down your commercial drone, that your drone that you get off QVC or from Best Buy, is that if you try to shoot down a drone over your property or your home, well, the government's telling you not to. Tons of articles out there about why you shouldn't try to shoot down a drone and how it's actually a federal crime. So just to get this straight, the government is telling you that they're going to use deadly force on your drone because you're a threat. Because if you go up in the sky and actually film or get close enough to one of their drones to see what they're doing, well, that's a threat, of course, to government security, even though they're telling us that these aren't government drones, right? That makes sense. And if you shoot down one that maybe is flying over your home at a low altitude, maybe you're concerned. Maybe you're thinking about, hey, do I have privacy rights? Well, the government's saying, no, you don't. And they're telling you if you shoot one down, you will be going to jail. So what are we seeing established here? Well, what we're seeing established is that the government and the FAA own the airspace, not you. It belongs to them. And we can expect this more and more in the future. There will be government drones surveilling us at all times. And of course, the more we hear about crimes and illegal immigrants, the more they'll try to convince people that this is for our security, to protect us by having these drones. We could solve murders faster. We don't have to worry about illegals coming across. We don't have to worry about any of this stuff. So the government can have drones up there, but you can't, okay? Because you're not allowed to be up in the airspace. And the reality of the matter is that nobody should be allowed up in the airspace. Now remember, you don't own the air above your home, okay? Legally, you don't own it, as much as people think, well, it's flying above my property. Well, it's not on your property. If it's above your property, guess what? The government has free reign. That's how the government gets away with spraying those aluminum and barium trails over your home every single day, you see? Because you're not allowed to call the government up and say, I don't want these planes flying above my head because they're leaving this trail in the sky. And the government goes, well, you can't tell us that we can't do that. And besides, it's water vapor, right? What? What's going on? Oh, your farm is dying off. All your crops are dying. Oh, you're getting sick. Oh, you have all sorts of rashes on your body. Well, that's not because of our water vapor. Maybe you have some other problem from something else that's going on, because we're never going to actually take accountability for making everyone sick by spraying chemicals on all of our civilians every single day. And we're certainly not going to take accountability for the stuff that we jam into your food, your processed food. So what we're seeing now, I think we can expect as the new normal. This is something they're putting in place, and they claim it's only through January. But remember, they claim a lot of things, right? Remember when they claimed that there was only going to be lockdowns for a couple of days, it turned into a couple of weeks, a couple of months, a couple of years, curfews, quarantines, right? Right? Even like I said recently, California only lifted some of their quarantine laws this year, okay? So they could extend this as long as they possibly want. And, I don't think that they're fearful that people flying their own drones in the sky are actually going to expose the operation that they're doing, because, like I said, their drones, the government DARPA drones, are fully equipped with EMPs. For those of you that don't know, which is an electromagnetic pulse. So they could literally short circuit any drone that comes near any of their drones in the sky, which would disable it and cause it to fall all the way down to the ground and destroy it while it hits the ground, right? This is something we've seen happen, and people are thinking to themselves, it's a UFO. The UFO shot it down using a laser beam, right? These people can't figure out really anything that's going on because they believe in government narratives like UFOs that they're from outer space, and they're not actually from the government themselves. Well, of course, they're from the government themselves. So the government isn't afraid that you're going to get footage of anything, because they will zap it down immediately. What they're afraid of and what the future holds is drones from civilians being the new normal. See, what they did was they normalized people going to the store, buying drones because they thought it was cool, right? This is how they do everything. They desensitize you. The second drones came out, the first day that drones were being sold in America, people were taken aback. They were like, what? What is that? Right? And all of a sudden, well, people are flying them at these conventions, right? They're going to parks and they're flying their drones up there. Then suddenly people started seeing and hearing stories about people flying drones over rural neighborhoods, right? And people would say, there's a drone in the sky, and they got more desensitized. They're saying, well, they're only taking video because it's a realtor company and they want to put it on their website to help sell the property. And people go, oh, okay. Or it's only so-and-so that's flying it up there because they want to film something and put it on their YouTube channel. And they think it's so beautiful and everybody wants to see the fall foliage. Oh, okay. Right? So then people just get more and more used to drones in the sky, right? Which is what they want. So suddenly it's almost like I mentioned with the chemtrailing. The first time people saw chemtrailing, people just were like, what is that? Why are there these weird clouds in the sky, right? 30 years later, it's the new normal, because the majority of people who were kids then are now in their 30s. It's all they've ever known are chemtrail skies, right? But at the time, people who were 50 years old seeing that were reporting it to the government. Now those people aren't alive anymore. So now the next generation, that's normal for them, seeing it like that. And that's the same thing with drones, right? As time goes by, it becomes normal to see drones. So we've normalized it, right? If the government just came out and we didn't know that you could buy a drone at Best Buy or you could buy a drone at Walmart, and the government just suddenly started flying these things over our homes, the people would have a problem with it. And they'd be freaked out. And they'd say, what is that? So they've normalized drone technology. They've told us that it's cool, that it's neat. Then they started telling us how drones could be helpful. Ooh, drones can wash buildings. They could save lives. People don't have to climb up skyscrapers anymore to wash buildings. Now drones can do it. Hey, drones can deliver packages. Isn't that cool? And people go, oh, wow, that's neat. Not even realizing that the whole purpose is to keep you locked in your home as a prisoner and not go out to stores anymore, which is, again, part of the entire New World Order enslavement blueprint, is that you're going to be doing everything digitally, locked up, and the quarantine that you just went through was just a test run to get people used to doing things over Zoom, buying things on Amazon, and now you see the after effects of that, right? How many malls are closing? How many people actually go out to stores anymore? People get used to ordering groceries online and then having it delivered to them with Uber. That's the new normal that they've built. And the drones will be a part of the new normal. But one of the things they don't tell you is that eventually regular citizens are going to need more than just some type of minor license to own a drone. The government's going to have to give you approval. So yes, if you're a realtor at a realtor company and you submit it, they'll let you fly your drone. But guess what? Just like with guns, right? They're not going to ban guns for everyone. It's not possible. They'll let people who vote Democrat own guns, and they'll let people who, once they check out their search history and what they believe and what they don't believe, own guns. But they won't let people like me and you own guns, and they won't let people like me and you own drones either. They'll let people commercially operate their drones for little minor things, but eventually you will see just big corporations who have the right to fly drones like Amazon and Walmart and UPS and everything else. But ultimately, the government is going to make it the new normal, flying these things over people's homes. So they're sending a message, right? Deadly force. And of course, they say, look, if you're one of these people flying the drone, that they're going to come and get you, okay? They could lock you up, massive fines if you're one of the people flying the drones, and they'll use deadly force on your drone, which I like the wording of that as well, because when everybody reads the article and they hear deadly force, they're like, wait a minute, so if I fly a drone up, they're going to come to my house and kill me? Well, remember, we're going to start looking at technology and robotics as humans. That's part of what they're doing. Giving AI rights, AI laws, that's the whole point. Like I covered, that video is also on the website, with everything that was going on in Hollywood, where all these celebrities were talking about, well, we need rights with AI. Well, in order to have rights with AI, then AI has to have rights, and that's the whole point of it. They're all in on it. Of course they're in on it. They're government operatives, right? So we'll start seeing people viewing AI, oh my gosh, and robots. You can't shoot a drone. You can't shoot a robot. Robots' lives matter. Drones' lives matter. And it sounds insane, but it's true. Even there's the wording of the article. You could take it for what it's worth. I mean, they're saying use deadly force, right? When you read that, are you thinking to yourself that they're talking about murdering a drone? Or are you thinking, well, when I hear deadly force, they're going to come to people's homes and they're going to kill them because of an imminent security threat? No, they're talking about murdering your drone because they want you to start envisioning your technology as if it's an entity living in the same space as us that's going to have its own rights. You won't be able to shoot down drones over your property. It'd be like murder. Try to use an EMP. If you could get some type of an EMP weapon to use, because that's the only way you're shooting down a government drone. You aren't shooting it down with a gun. A bullet's not going to reach the altitude that they're at, okay? And even if it does, they're bulletproof, the DARPA drones. Now, if a DARPA drone's flying above your home and you have a strong enough EMP, of course you could take it down. It's got to be pretty strong. It's got to be government graded, right? If you get your hands on one and you have it and you do that, well, you're probably going to get life in prison with the possibility of parole after 150 years. This sounds insane, but this is what we're headed towards. AI rights, drone rights, the right to shoot these things down? No. You'll be arrested for it. It's not your property. It's not your airspace anymore. It's theirs. And they're telling you this. And they're using words like deadly force to make you think they're coming for you. No, they're telling you that this type of technology, if you harm it or hurt it or do something to it, you're going to be held accountable because it's more important than you are. Welcome to the New World Order. So the FAA has banned drones over parts of New Jersey. They're threatening deadly force for imminent security threat, while telling you in tons of articles from all the mainstream outlets, USA Today, CNN, that you shouldn't shoot them down. Don't shoot them down. Is it legal to shoot them down? And the answer is no, 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 no. You will be in trouble, even if you feel threatened by one of these over your home. And of course, we've heard all the stories over the last couple of years where they're talking about private property, people coming on their private property, the homeowner feeling threatened because someone's banging at their door and shooting them. And of course, the homeowner's response. We've even heard stories because there's states that have laws in place that even if someone breaks into your home, well, if that person isn't armed and you shoot them, you're liable and responsible. So apparently in a lot of these, and that's true, it sounds insane. But think about that. In some of these states, if somebody breaks into your home in the middle of the night and you grab a gun to protect your kids, protect your wife, protect yourself, and you shoot the guy, and the guy doesn't have a weapon on him, you could be thrown in jail for murder or assault with a deadly weapon. Because apparently when the guy breaks into your home, you're supposed to look down and say, hey, do you have a gun? Right? You're supposed to question him first instead of protect your family. And of course, if the guy does have a gun and you don't fire first and he kills your whole family, everyone says, why didn't you fire first, right? Because that's the world that we live in. Hypocrites, right? Hindsight's 20. But they don't want you to have hindsight because they don't want you to even think in the first place. I thank everybody for being here. Hope you're all doing well. God bless you and your families, as always.